Welcome, everybody. UFC 228. It is fight week. Tuesday night, roughly 10:30 or so. East Coast, West Coast. You're probably at what, 7:30, 8:30. I can't remember. Whatever. Starting from the bottom up, from where I want to start from, because that's how I roll. First fight I would start with is Jimmy Rivera. I believe he's gonna get him a unanimous decision win over John Dodson. Uh, Rivera 5-1 in the UFC. Last loss coming up. Marlon Moraes, his last fight. John Dodson just came off a big win against Munoz. Before that, he also lost to Marlon Moraes. So both of them obviously couldn't get past Moraes. I just give the cardio, the young, athletic, all those attributes to Rivera. Dodson, he's not an old guy by any means, not like old, but he's not considered young in the UFC anymore. So uh, I think it's a classic, another one of those BJ Penn, Yair Rodriguez type situations where it's an older guy versus a newer guy. Maybe not to that magnitude. Maybe they're not that far apart as BJ Penn and Yair Rodriguez were, but it's just like it's on that same rise and fall kind of concept that I believe is happening. The Both the Moraes fight and the Munoz fight were split decisions. So his win and his loss split decisions. In the Munoz fight, a lot of people argue that Munoz could have won, so he could have been on a 2-0 split decision slide right now, or 0-2, sorry, rather. Excuse me. And but right now he's not, so he's very fortunate to not be on a 0-2 slide right now, off split decisions. But that being said, I think he's going to be 1-2 for his last three. After this next fight, I got Jimmy Rivera. Unanimous decision this time. I think he's just going to control the fight, the entire fight, and he's going to be able to he's going to be able to keep up with a faster pace for more time in the fight. Um, Second fight is going to be Aljo from New York. Always represent the guys from Long Island. Aljamain Sterling is gonna probably submit. I would think Cody Stainman. Can't say your name, brother, but I would think submit him. He's great in the jiu-jitsu portion of fighting. I can't really get too into a stand-up because the most recent thing we think of when we see a stand up is also another head kick knockout loss to none other than who? Marlon Moraes. Somebody who's beaten everybody in that division, obviously. Um, but I still got Sterling, Stamen, Cody. 3-0 in the UFC. He's an up and comer. Sterling 7-3. He's got a lot of experience, especially fighting top notch guys. Moraes, even though he lost, it was standing on the feet, obviously. Where's this fight going to take place? Is Sterling going to be able to get him to the ground? I think so. I got Aljo there. Carlos Sparza, Tatiana Schwartz. I can't remember what happened with the Amanda Cooper fight, but on the UFC page, it says it has a championship belt next to it. So I can't remember but neither one of them was ever champion in my knowledge. But it's got their first fight when she beat Amanda Cooper. It's got a belt next to it, which is weird to me. But Amanda Cooper, can't pronounce the other woman's name that she beat, and then Alexa Grasso. You're 3-0. You got a decent record. You're facing decent people. Carlos Sparza has been around for a good while. Has fought in the best people in the division for the entire time she's been here. She fought Joanna one of the first fights. She fought she just got out of a war with Claudia Delia, which she was winning some of the fight, and I was getting really excited for. I thought she was going to come out with that win. Um, she's been through some wars, man. I got Carlos Sparza. by stoppage. I say she knocks this chick out. And a lot of times you guys will hear me pick the younger person coming through, the older person falling and the younger person coming up. But right now, I just think that in certain situations, you could look back to a million different situations where to just push it too fast. Anthony Smith, they tried to push before they just pushed him in light heavyweight. They tried to really push him at middleweight, and he got knocked out by Thiago Santos, who's also now getting pushed. But he tried to get pushed a little too quick, went to Santos, and Santos ended up knocking him out. Um, Same thing happens with Santos. He got David Branch. David Branch ended up knocking him out. And he went back to the drawing board and then got into a replacement fight. Now he's going to fight in Sao Paulo against Jimmy Manuel, I believe, in Brazil. I'm looking forward to that fight. But we're not talking about those guys. The spar's over. Schwartz knockout, second round. Second round for the Schwartz knockout. Nico Price, Hassan, Al Hassan. I can't pronounce these weird names, man, but I'll try. I'll give it one shot, and then I'll call you a Hassan. And if I'm saying it wrong, correct me. If not, don't worry about me. I'm just over here talking my shit. All right? But I got Nico Price anyway. I got him by knockout, first round. Nico Price is a wild dude, man. Just came off of 2 big wins over Randy Brown, who beat Mickey Gall, and George Sullivan, who Mickey Gall beat. So, although they're not huge wins in the division, they are comparable to somebody who the UFC is pushing in Mickey Gall. So you could compare them and say, oh, well, they're pushing Mickey Gall like this. Why aren't they pushing Nico Price, who also has a win, over Randy Brown, who has a win over Mickey Gall? But I think it'll start to happen. He's got to get him a win right now on the main card. First fight on the main card, and it's got to be impressive, and I think he could do it. But this is going to be his test. I think he's got it knockout first round. We'll be seeing more Nico Price. I believe so. Next would be Jessica Andrade, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, which I always like Kowalkiewicz. I think that she had the best fight with Joanna before Rose did. Before Rose, obviously she had the best fight. She knocked her out. But I think she had the best fight with her prior to that. Great skilled fighter, always wants to take it the distance. She wants to outwork you. Maybe not. Maybe she don't want to. Maybe no fighter wants to be in there the distance, but that's how she wins. She takes it the distance. She outworks you, and it's worked for her a lot. She's going up against a heavy striker in Jessica Andrade. This one is a hard one for me to pick. If you made me bet, in this one, I wouldn't pick. I really wouldn't pick normally, but if somebody was sitting here saying, the house, we're taking it. The only way you can get it back, I'm going to give you one chance. You bet on this fight. Person you picked wins, then you keep your house. If I had to do that, I'm going to go with Andrade. More tools to win. Didn't look as good in the Joanna fight as Kowalkiewicz did, but I think looked pretty good in that fight. Just big striker, man, and can last the whole time. Maybe she won't be as fiery as Kowalkiewicz will be in the third round, but if I had to, I really want to say Kowalkiewicz, but if I had to, I would say Andrade knockout. Give me first round because I would think it would have to happen quick. And what a way to start the card would that be with Nico Price and then fucking Andrade stopping the other one in the second round. In the first round, both fights. Third to last fight of the night would have been Zabit Magomed Sharapov. Magomed Sharipov, Zabit. We'll call him Zabit. That was it. I went for it one time. His name's Zabit. Zabit's fighting Brandon Davis, Killer B Davis, because Yair Rodriguez didn't make it to the fight. He pulled Jose Aldo bullshit. So, which would have been a great fight. That's why it was the third fight of the night. But now he's fighting this guy, Brandon Davis, who is decent in the we gotta kill this guy. We don't fuck around. Get the fuck out of here. I can't fuck around. I don't fuck around like that. But where the fuck were we at? Brandon Davis. Fucking hell. He's a new guy, man. He's up and coming. He's had a pretty good stretch from where he's at, but he lost to Kyle Bosniak. What do you want me to tell you? Zabit just beat Kyle Bosniak, and he took everything Bosniak had. Bosniak went nuts at the end of the fight, and he still couldn't. He had no answers for him. So, I mean, Zabit, obviously, that's my pick, and I'd say by decision. He just outclasses him the entire fight and plays with him and makes it look good, just like he did in the last fight. This is not a guy that's on his level. Valentina Shevchenko, Nico Montano, for the, what is that, women's, what division was that for them? Flyweight? Women's flyweight? 125? Flyweight, right? 125 is flyweight, I think it's going to be flyweight. But, somebody correct me. Not going to happen. Shevchenko, I got by knockout. Third round. I give it to the third round. Montano's a warrior. I give it to the third round, but I do give it to Shevchenko by knockout. Just a quick one there. We're going to go more into it. There's a guy, I think his name is McMally on Twitter, MacMally. So he's going to brand his dick with the word UFC if Montano wins. So if you ask me who am I going to root for in some weird sadistic way, it's going to be Montano. But if you ask me who I think would win, same situation with the fucking house I don't want to keep, I would say Shevchenko. Which brings us to the main event, the last fight, Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley for the welterweight champion. I know the fucking weight class there. For the welterweight championship belt. Tyron Woodley looking to defend once again. This would make it what, 4 or 5? 4. This would make it 4 or 5. So this would make it 5, 6, 7 for him, somewhere in that fucking range. I don't got that stat right off top. Well, let's think about it. He beat fucking Wonderboy twice. Maya. Wonderboy twice and Maya. That's it. So this is his fourth. This will be his fourth. One too many. He's done. Darren Till knockout. I give third round. I think first round's gonna come out. He's gonna hurt him. Second round, he's gonna look like he's got his stuff together. Maybe land a takedown. Be lazy. Third round's gonna come out. Darren Till's gonna stuff a takedown. And just get into an exchange and land, knock him the fuck out. Almost. If I just said the second round, almost knock him out. And then Saved by the Bell, third round comes, and he just comes out and fucking blasts him in the beginning of the third round, knocks him out. That's how I see it going. New welterweight champion Darren Till brings it back to Liverpool. That's what I believe firmly. So UFC 228, hope to go fucking, how many did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope I go 8 for 8 on the we only didn't do one fight on the prelims, and that was Charles Byrd, Darren Stewart. I would do a seeing Darren Stewart fight live, but I didn't really want to get into the newer fights, and I didn't want to get into the prelim fights, so I just I stuck with Jimmy Rivera, the New York guy, and I started with him. Be it as it may, that's where I started. I don't care. Sage Northcutt, I seen on Air Hawani announce that he is a free agent. He thinks, I don't know way I read all this stuff, so I don't know if it was on Ariel Hawani, but he he says that he thinks that the UFC will offer him a good deal, but he's also friends with Lyoto Machida and I think he said Rory McDonald. Might have said Rory McDonald or somebody like that who came from the UFC, and he said they're getting paid double and triple what they made at the UFC, um, at Bellator. So just fun stuff to throw around in contract negotiations time. Um, I wish the best for Sage Northcutt. Don't fight Logan Paul, man. And if you do not go easy on him. I know you're a nice kid. You might fucking think this guy's got no experience other than being athletic. You're gonna go easy and go in there and spar. No, dude. If you actually get this fight with this guy, prove to this guy why it takes work to be in this sport. Work. Show him, man. Because it's not work what they did for the YouTube thing, and it came down to a draw. This shit was probably made to be like that. Try to make a fucking sequel, yada yada. You know, it was all publicity. They made it big. The whole shit was big being in fucking England or wherever the fuck where that guy was from. They made it huge, man. They had a good. They went on a tour with it and shit. You know, they did a good job. I'm not gonna lie, but it was all hype though. It was all hype. You know, I didn't see the fight. I didn't watch the fight. I'm not going to watch the fight. But from what I heard, it was all hype, man. They were pretty good. I know a lot of people are pretty impressed with what they've seen from the two fighters. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. And if you do put it on the UFC, smash him, bro. Don't go easy. Smash him, Sage. Please, for the love of the game, don't go easy on this dude. Um, Other news: UFC 220 or 230. Dustin Poirier, Nate Diaz, the co-main. I got word today that the main event will be announced either later this week or earlier next week or sometime next week. This week or next week, he told me. But fun things to throw around is that John Jones, I believe, stated that he never got out of the testing pool, even though he's in this trouble with USADA. He never stopped testing, I believe he said. He's also been talking a lot of shit on Twitter. He posted a video of two women fighting, and one of the women continuously kicked the other woman to the body, and then on the third or fourth kick, went up for a high kick and kicked her in the face and sat her down. And Jones wrote something with it. Daniel Cormier wrote back something, and I remember the last thing Jones said was that he said, "You're right. Steroid really enhance," or I can't remember quote for quotes. I'm stumbling and shit. Don't be like that. But he said roundabout the lines of that. Yes, uh, it must be that steroids increases one. He said a slight amount of steroids, metabolic steroids, whatever he called it, uh, could possibly uh, make you smarter. Is what he was saying. Because he was saying he set the kick up, kicks to the body, kicks to the body, kicks to the body, and then kick to the head. So he was saying it's crazy how steroids can make you smart. And he said, "You're right, Daniel." Yada yada. So he shut Daniel up real quick. I think it was hilarious. It's funny, man. It's funny to see. I love to see street fight videos where you can see somebody who knows a little bit of what they're doing, a little tiny bit. It's fun, man. It's fun because they know like one or two things to do. Like I would consider that me. I would consider like if I got in a street fight, you know, which I've been in plenty. But if I were to get in one today, God forbid that guy. But if it were to happen, I would know two or three things to do. And one of those three things is going to work unless this guy knows a couple of things to do, and in which case we got us a night ahead of us, you know. And I don't mean like two or three things. Like I know how to fight. I could do every aspect of fighting, but there are three techniques where it's a couple of different combinations that I know just to check to see if he knows how to block my combinations, if he knows what I'm trying to get him to think about in our fight. In a fight, it's a mind game at all times, man. And if he's looking at me all crazy and he's going crazy and he's throwing his hands wild, obviously I'm not going to try to set anything up and do these special body kicks to a head kick, combo. I'm not going to do it. But it's going to be a lot more rational. But if it's like a fight scenario where you kind of got a second to kind of feel each other out with jabs and leg kicks or something like that, just to feel to see where their reactions are going to be, it's a lot easier to win a fight, I believe. But that's what I like to see. When I seen that John Jones posted that, I was like, oh, this is mad cool. Because I didn't even see what he wrote. I just seen the video, and it was body kicks, body kicks, body kicks, and then she hit him with the head kick. And I started laughing as soon as I watched the video. I started laughing because I knew what he was doing. Immediately got out to read that post that he wrote with it, laughing even more. It's hilarious, man. That shit's hilarious. Last thing we're gonna close on today: Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz 3, November 24th, Inglewood, California. Golden Boy Promotions, Thanksgiving weekend. They back, yo. It's it's cool, man. Gleason, Gleason Tebow, I think I said his name was, who just got released from the UFC after a 4-fight losing streak. Will fight under the promotion on the undercard. Um, they haven't announced who he's going to fight yet, but they're putting it together. They're putting ex-UFC guys there, 4 losses in a row and not. They're putting them there. It's cool to see, man. It's cool to see a fucking freak show every now and again. They're not going to blow up from this unless you could take on real talent. You could buy real talent from somebody. If you put on a freak show, we're going to watch it once. If that shit doesn't fucking smack the first one, don't do it again because nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to believe it. They're going to think freak show number 2 and nobody's going to buy that shit. But Tito Ortiz better come out and either rear naked choke Chuck Liddell's lights out, or Chuck Liddell better fucking 1999, 2000 and fucking 6 knock the fuck out of Tito Ortiz. And that's the only way that show, Golden Boy Promotions or anything like that, would even have a chance of having a second show. If something crazy like that happens in the last fight, better not go to decision, because if that happens, this is a great fight, and go to decision. If it's just like a fucking, when I do that motion, you guys know what I'm talking about. If it's one of those kind of fights, don't even put on a second show. We out, guys. Saturday. I couldn't tell you again. I know I never could do it on Tuesdays, but I don't know if we're gonna do a video on Saturday. We might. We'll see what the vibe is like. How many people wants to do a video and shit? Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But definitely, we'll see you next Tuesday. We'll be talking about the results of the fight. Maybe who's gonna fight who next after the fight. We'll see. A lot of different options. Obviously, Kobe Covington there for Tyron if he wins. The world is yours if Darren Till wins. He obviously will give it to the next in line, which they think is Covington. But will it be Usman? Who knows? Who knows? Definitely won't be Usman if it's Tyron. It's going to be Kobe. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. UFC, fuck with you. If you ever see my videos, send me to the 25th anniversary thing. I was born on November 12th, 1994, 1 year after your first year anniversary. I was born on the 1 year anniversary of UFC 1. Send me to Denver. I love smoking weed. Sorry to say it. Whatever, Denver's the place to be to do that, I hear. And Mike Perry is one of my favorite fighters. Donald Cerrone's a legend. I love to see all that shit. Frankie Edgar's from New Jersey. I'm from New York. So he fights out of Jersey and I'm from New York. I sound like a guy, man. Pick me, Dana. I don't know what to tell you. Barbecue Pit, we out. We see you in Denver.